So today, we want to finish part two, what I was talking about last week, which was three scenarios that may make your player want to quit. Now we're talking about what you can do or how you can help your player when they feel like they're ready to make that next step, and what is it that they really need to do, and what is it they really need to focus on. So number one, what is it that they can do to really take the step? And I actually had a conversation not too long ago with a old high school buddy of mine who's now in coaching, and we were both kind of talking about their soccer journeys. Extremely skilled player, and it was shocking to hear some of the things that he said. He was just like, man, back when I was playing, I was just so lazy. I was just a lazy player. I thought I was working hard. I thought I was doing what I needed to do, but really I wasn't doing nearly enough. And he kind of talked about my journey. He was like, I know you were a player who just kind of grinded and gotten better when you were able to really focus on soccer, which was, I think, a very accurate statement, because I was one of those players who for the longest time I was in so many different things. When I was finally able to really focus and grind and work on my game, I really improved as a player. But that being said, I wish I knew what I know now, what I need to really focus on to be able to see and reach, I think, my full potential as a player. So if your player is kind of beyond, just going to club practice, maybe they have a private trainer, or maybe they're doing a lot of work on their own, but they're looking for that extra step, I really want you to kind of to watch this video and watch this episode, and just kind of really see, are they doing all the things that they need to do to really help them? Kind of like what my friend, being able to take that next step in their development and really focus on the things that are really going to help them. So number one is really simple. You got to spend time with the ball, technical work, and don't just do the stuff that you're really good at. I see so many players who do the same thing over and over and over again, and they're really good at it. They've gotten really skilled. I mean, I think in our country, we have so many players that spend tons of time doing a lot of small sided technical stuff, which is so much, I think, better than it was in the past. So I think the skill level has increased, but I do think there is some stuff that we neglect to focus on. So I think it's important to understand what your weaknesses are. So don't be afraid if you feel like you're stalling out. Don't be afraid to go ask your coaches. They see you. If you have a trainer, even better, they can be able to help you be able to plot a plan to be able to take that next step in your game. So number one, obviously, you got to do the technical work, which I think the majority of people, they really do. They do take the time to put in the technical work in their game. The second thing is physical. And I think, again, I think for the longest time, our country was kind of built on athletes being great, amazing athletes, and less on the technical side. But I do really believe that it's starting to even out. But that being said, if you're a player, it's looking for to take the next step, look at the physical side of it. Are they as fit as they can be? I mean, like really fit. And it's hard. It takes discipline to get as fit as you can possibly be. And it's hard, and it's even harder to maintain that. But are they willing to be disciplined to get fit? And then also, are they willing to put the time in the gym as well to be stronger? And it's, resistance training is so critical, and decreasing injuries, being able to, obviously, just being able to be stronger than an opponent is so vital in the game like soccer, obviously a physical game like soccer. So again, are they doing the resistance training that they need to do? Really, a huge portion of this, and again, depending on when this episode comes out, we're going to have a chat. We may have already had the chat with the nutritionist, dietitian, or it's yet to be released. But even so, like, all those, nutrition is a huge portion that people are kind of, they just forget about, or they think of it as an afterthought, when really it's the fuel of what our body needs on a daily basis. So again, if your player really is looking for two places, number one, put in that fitness work, and number two, and fitness work in the gym, and then, just the cardio and all the work that you need to do outside. And then I would say the nutrition. Make sure that they're working with somebody who knows what they're doing and who knows how to help them properly fuel their body. And so those are the first two main areas. And I think people really key in on those. And they may get that in their club. right? What I see less of, which it doesn't really make sense to me, especially here in America, is the tactical side of the game. I know for me, I didn't really learn tactics. I mean, really learn tactics until I got to college, which is way too late. If you look at other countries around the world, some of them have amazing, they're being taught tactics at such a young age, and which just puts them so much further ahead of us. So again, what can you do to close the gap to make that next step and help your player, help them to watch games, right? Watch games, and the good thing is now there's so many good breakdowns of games and analysis of games on YouTube that go up literally after teams play every single weekend, that it's kind of hard not to be able to go out and really get a good tactical breakdown. But even so, there's other coaches now that offer it. I know I offer it now with some of the players in my program, and even players outside of my program, to be able to break down their matches, to really be able to help them to see, like, what is my decision making, what am I doing, and then help them to compare that and contextualize that when it comes to what pro players are doing, which I think is just so, man, that I wish that was something I had available to me when I was growing up, when I could say, oh my gosh, like, I see what I'm doing now. I see how I can be better. So again, tactical work, watch the game. And even so, I think even better is going to watch games in person, because then you can see the decisions in real time. You can see them, all the wealth of options, and you can see how the players make decisions very quickly. So again, watch the game. Hopefully you can go and see them in person. If you're a really young player, go out and watch some of the older players in your club. Go out and watch college level games, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be just watching pro games. Just watch older players. It'll teach you so much about the game. And then finally, the last thing, so vital, so vitally important, is the mental work. And again, obviously, this is something I touch on, I talk about a lot for players in my program, just helping them to reflect on what it is that they're doing, that they're not just getting into, not just being robots, right? But they're really trying to understand and hopefully growing in their knowledge of how they can perform at their very best and most confident version of themselves. And again, there's several different ways that you can do this. I think journaling is a huge part. I think goal setting is obviously really important. Just reflecting habits. There's so many things that you can go into when it comes to the mental side of the game. If you've not started doing this, absolutely, you can go check out some of the old episodes of the podcast. I think the easiest way is to start by journaling and really be able to have a journal that's going to break down what it is that you need to do, or just break down what it is that you're doing and how you're performing, and helping you to contextualize what you're doing instead of just walking around with all this information in your head. Be able to put it down in a place that's going to help you to be able to perform your best. Um, Another really underrated part of it that I know I wasn't really introduced into to it until I got to college, but was just being able to meditate. It was really awesome. I know I've told the story on the podcast before, but our college had access to a sports psychologist who would come in and on every Friday help us just to reflect. And I remember he would always say, go to your happy place. I know, like, it has to be from some movie or something, but it really was, was a place that would help us to feel so much confident. And he would just kind of guide us through, like, how you're going to feel and how confident you want to be going into these games. And I think it really, really helped me to perform our best. And that was like one of the years that we had him was one of the more successful times in our program. And so I think being able to meditate and really kind of center yourself is one of those things that really does help your mental performance. So again, those are the kind of the 4 areas that players can really work on, and things they can do to be able to take their that next step in their program. 3, 2, 1. Those are the 4 areas that a player can really key in on. And the good thing is, you can help your player figure out what it is that they're slacking in and what they need help kind of growing and getting better at. And again, I am always available if you want to reach out and talk to me about this, because I love being able to help players key in on their training, on what they need to really focus on to take that next step in their development. So hopefully this was informative. So I love to be able to hear feedback from you guys. Let me know if you agree.